Hi, this is David Cole, and I'd like to welcome you to this video. This has been made specifically for you as a Freedom First client. This will be shown to a lot of other people in the nation, but as my clients, you're seeing this first. And there's some really great information in this video that I want you to give some serious thought to, because I'm very concerned about what I've been hearing and the questions I've been asked really over the last couple of years. It seems to be on everybody's mind, and that is a lot of questions about what kind of business entity should I be, corporation, sub S, C corporation, LLC, etc. What about my 401k? How do I really use it? Or my tax person doesn't seem to understand it at all, and they're not really helping me. They're asking me income tax questions. I'm paying a lot of money, the IRS. I'm doing well maybe in my real estate business on the side or full time, and it just seems like I'm getting slaughtered in taxes. It doesn't seem fair. And what am I missing? And most of the time I can ask people just a few basic key point questions and tell immediately that they're definitely overpaying taxes by thousands or if not tens of thousands of dollars. People ask me, Dave, is my stuff safe if I get sued? What about my 401k? Okay, what about my house, my savings, my other investments, my real estate? Is this safe? Because there are so many lawsuits in this country. So these questions have come up over and over and over again. And I've been concerned about it, so I want to share information in this video to show you there are tools that can be used to get you back on track. So again, that you're confident, that you can sleep well at night, that you know that you've done your proper business and tax planning. And then I'm going to make an amazing offer for you as my client at the end of this webinar. And I think that a lot of you are going to be just absolutely thrilled with it because it's going to provide the solutions that you have been looking for at an extremely affordable price. So in this video, you're going to discover how to slash your taxes to the absolute legal minimum. We're going to talk about the tools you can use and the approach. We're going to talk about how to supercharge the growth of your retirement plan. There's a lot of advanced strategies and techniques in using the 401k to create wealth that can really take you to the next level. And we're going to talk about how to stop greedy attorneys from taking your stuff. And what a problem that is for a lot of people today. So let's start off with something that's near and dear to everybody's heart, and that's how to stop the tax man from bleeding you dry. Because I just talked to one of my clients the other day, and she's had a wonderful year as a realtor and an investor, but her comment was she just couldn't believe how much in taxes that she was paying. And again, I asked her a couple of key point questions about how she was structured, did she have a business entity, et cetera, and I could tell immediately that she is paying way more in taxes than she needs to. And frankly, that concerns me. I don't want to see any of you take your hard work and give it away to the IRS because you legally don't have to. We'll talk about that in a moment too. So let's talk about the two situations most taxpayers find themselves in. A lot of people in this country expect a tax refund. Do you? Did you get one last year or the year before? Do you expect one in 2017? And I would have to ask you, why? Why are you expecting a tax refund? You see, when you're getting a refund, you're just letting the IRS use your money for free for, the next 14, 16 months. Absolutely free, without any benefit to you, because when you give it away through overpaying taxes, your money's not available for emergencies. It's not available for you to invest and make money off of it. It's not available to pay down debt, which is really important to do. It's not even available to pay for your lifestyle and current living expenses. You simply lost control of it, gave it away to the IRS for free for a year. Let me ask you, does that make sense? It just doesn't make sense to me. You shouldn't be looking forward to a refund like it's a forced savings plan, because that means somebody else got to use your money for a year or more, not you. Okay, so anyway, a tax refund is really nothing more than a symptom of poor tax planning or no tax planning whatsoever. Now, that's one situation. Perhaps you find yourself on the other side of the fence. And what is that? Well, you have no refund. Instead, you're writing a check to the IRS. So is that check larger than you would like? Let me ask it maybe a different way. Does the size of that check make you sick to your stomach? And I've talked to so many people that are just shocked with what they're paying in taxes to the IRS in the state where they live. Now, I want you to understand, I'm not a tax protester. I believe in paying taxes. It's how we fund the government. It's how the government provides us all of the services that we enjoy, our family enjoys, everything from roads to schools to Medicare to Social Security, etc. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That's being a good citizen, paying taxes. But I do have an issue if you're making the IRS your favorite charity. There is nothing, not one single word in the tax code that says you have to pay more than your fair share, the legal amount required based on your situation, which is determined by your tax planning. There's tremendous amounts of tools out there that can be used to reduce your taxes. There's over 350 laws giving you tax breaks as a small business owner because, you see, Congress rewards you in two ways. They don't reward you if you're an employee working for a company. That has very limited tax breaks. They reward you for two things. One, being in business, because they know that small business is the backbone of this country, and some bedroom businesses will turn into big businesses employing people over time. And the second break they give you or incentive is to be an investor. Well, if you're in real estate and if that's your focus, you're hitting on both of those. You're in business and you're an investor. So would it make sense to simply ignore and walk away from a gift of money from Congress because you don't want to make the effort to understand it or do the paperwork to file for it? That's crazy. Tax planning and the money you invest in it is the best investment you can make. Think about it. If you do good tax planning and you cut your taxes by, let's say, $8,000 or $10,000 a year, is that just this year? No. It's this year and next year and next year and next year and next year, right? Pretty soon you've got $80,000 or $100,000 of money you would have given away to the IRS. It's in your pocket. It's for you to spend and invest and use for you and your family. It's imperative that you get serious about slashing your taxes to the legal minimum and just having the documentation to back up your position. That's all it takes. All right? Because again, taxes are the single largest expense you pay. It's probably more than your house payment or rent, than your car payment, than your insurance and your groceries combined. It is a huge bite out of your discretionary or disposable income. In fact, it averages about 42% at least for most people. Because it's not just state and federal, but think about all the other taxes we pay. There's about 97 taxes that have been identified that most people pay at some point during the course of a year. Here's just a list like gasoline tax, cell phone tax, sales tax, property tax, value-added tax, sin taxes, that's on cigarettes and alcohol, etc. So taxes and the minimizing of the impact of taxes is one of your serious responsibilities as a business owner. Being a business owner means you've got to address this. And the good news is, as a taxpayer, you have the legal right to reduce your tax bill to the minimum, here's the key point, by following the law. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything gray area. The law is very specific. It says, if you do this and this and this and document it in your records, pay us less money. I mean, how great is that, right? They're literally telling you how to give them less money, but here's the key. You're not a tax expert. You need a real, true small business tax expert in order to understand how to take advantage of all these wonderful laws and document it properly so that you're not concerned about the IRS. All right? So here's a quote from Chief Justice Rehnquist, which was on the Supreme Court. He said, "There's nothing wrong with a strategy to avoid the payment of taxes. The Internal Revenue Code does not prevent that." And it does not. Congress just says when they create the code, hey, just document what you're doing, have proof that you did it the right way, and we're fine with that. No problem. You should never, ever be intimidated or afraid of an audit from the IRS. It's all about your records. As long as you have the records, you're fine. And oh, by the way, you never, ever, ever represent yourself in an audit. You have your tax representative talk to the IRS agent, not you, because they're not emotionally connected to the numbers. They're going to deal with it a lot better than you are. All right. So let me ask you a question. I ask this of a lot of people when I talk to them. Where do you think taxes are headed in the next 5, 10, or 15 years? Do you think that they're going to go down? I hear a lot of loud laughing. Do you think that they're going to stay the same, just be level? Or do you think they're going to creep upwards? Now, when I ask a lot of people this question as I talk to them and do consultations, 99% of everybody tells me, Dave, they're going up. I know they're going up. A few people think they might stay level for a while because of some tax breaks. I agree that they're going up. I don't trust where taxes are going personally. And I don't think they're going to raise the tax rates we pay to higher percentages. I think what they're going to do is take away deductions, write-offs, and credits. They're going to start to minimize those, and that's the same effect as raising the rate on the front end. The government is broke. It needs more money. It's going to find a way to get that money to continue to operate. All right? So just, ignoring it, doing nothing about it, and keeping your head stuck in the sand, you're not going to avoid this. You're going to be a victim of overpaying taxes by ignoring it. So keep in mind that legal tax planning allows you to decide how much you want to pay the government. And you don't have to be afraid of the IRS as long as you document it properly. So a good tax expert is going to say, here's what we're going to do, and here's the records we're going to keep to document what we've done. Case closed, done, put it in the file, don't worry about it. All right? So if you have no tax planning, which the majority of the people, sadly, in this country do not have, you're going to deal with the IRS from a position of weakness and fear. And what are you going to do? You're going to overpay your taxes and then think, well, I'll get a refund down the road. You think that it's a protection, and it's not any protection whatsoever. So I'm going to show you today how you can stop overpaying the IRS, how you can put your money back in your pocket where it belongs. Nothing wrong with paying taxes. Just make sure it's your fair share based on the tax planning that you've done. Because again, I can't drive this point home hard enough. If you do nothing, if you don't have a good tax advisor right now, if you can't look me in the eye and say, David, I know exactly that why I'm paying the least amount of taxes, and tell me how you're doing it. If you're telling me your tax advisor can't tell you how to use your 401k and use your Roth 401k to build wealth tax-free forever, you're not in control of your taxes. It's that simple. So in that case, if you ignore proper business and tax planning, you're going to work hard for the IRS. You're going to live poor, in debt forever, and you're going to die broke out of money. We are in the largest financial and retirement crisis this country has ever faced. Google it. Everybody talks about it. There was a big thing on CBS 60 Minutes on how severe this is. People today, most people can't even tell you if they can retire, let alone when. They have no idea. They just have to wait and see what the stock market does for them. So let me ask you this. What have you done lately to get your financial house in order? What steps have you taken to reduce your taxes to the minimum? What steps have you taken to protect everything you own from greedy attorneys? What steps have you taken to really grow money steadily inside of your retirement plan? Most people haven't completed these steps, or they haven't even taken the first step to address these issues. So again, I'm going to offer you a solution today. It's going to blow you away. And you're the very first people in the nation to hear about this and have access to it. So at this point, we're going to get into some more details as I begin to peel back the layers and talk about some of the strategies, some of the tools that we use to help people. So I need to do my disclaimer. The information contained in this webinar is not meant to be construed as tax or legal advice. This information is being provided as educational material only. I cannot give you tax and legal advice. Now, I have the experts that can, which is really cool, and they're the experts I rely on for my own work. And if you choose to do your own thing or go your own way, that's fine. I hope that you find this information helpful, eye-opening, and it puts you on the right pathway to get these things handled. But I would want you to consult with a tax or legal professional regarding your unique personal situation. All right, so with that, let's dive into the rest of this information, and you might want to have out a pen and paper so that you can make some notes. You know, I really want to recognize the fact that each and every person on this, watching this video, on this webinar, has a unique financial fingerprint. Your situation is different from everybody else's, just like your fingerprint is different from everybody else's. So although the tax and legal strategies that I'm going to showcase here that the experts use to move you to the next level are similar, how they're constructed and then implemented is unique to you as a person. It fits your financial fingerprint. So people try to pin me down and say, well, what kind of business entity should I use? I don't know. We haven't done an in-depth analysis. We have to figure out what works for you. What you assume you would do, it may be the opposite, and when you understand why, it makes perfect sense. So, you know, again, if you think there's some one-size-fits-all magic button you press and it just happens, that is not the case. Everything needs to be customized or personalized to you and your financial fingerprint. Only personalized planning will get you where you basically want to go. All right, so let's start off. And we want to focus in. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go on in your life and your business life, but there are three financial threats that we're concerned about that virtually everybody faces when they're making decisions about creating and building wealth and controlling taxes and minimizing legal threats. So let's go through those, and I've assigned them a threat level. First one is a future threat. It's there. It can happen at any time. We just don't know when or if it will. The next threat that you have is called a current threat. It's something you're involved in right now. It's ongoing. And the last one is a red alert. It's serious. You got to do something about it now because it's sucking money out of your pocket as we speak. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one, what I consider a future threat, and that is the greedy legal system. Now, here's something I hear over and over, and you got to understand, I've been working with people for at least 20 years in this arena, a lot of clients, and so I see what happens in people's lives, and I have a lot of people that have told me over the years, Dave, I'm never going to be sued. You know, I don't know anybody's been sued. I've never been sued. It isn't going to happen at all. And they could not be more wrong. I have seen people blindsided by lawsuits for the most ridiculous reasons possible. You can sue anybody in this country for virtually anything you like if you can find an attorney that will take the case, right? Okay, so there's 40 million plus new lawsuits every year. Now, a lawsuit may take 2 or 3 years to resolve. So that means there could be 80 to 100 million lawsuits in process at any given time. Somebody's getting sued. $239 billion is the economic cost. That's over $800 for every man, woman, and child in this country. $60,000 is the average payout for injury lawsuits. 84% of plaintiffs receive damages, and 20% of federal trials involve a motor vehicle collision. Do you have a truck or car? Do you get in it daily and travel somewhere? you have the chance of being sued. That's just our society. We live in the most litigious country in the world. And it's really, in my opinion, an absolute shame as to how easy it is to sue people and get money out of them. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. If you think it will never happen to you, let me give you a couple of scenarios. Now, again, I'm assuming that your focus is on real estate. It could be anything else, but I think you'll see that these two scenarios could happen to anybody. You're rehabbing a property. It's not done yet. During the night, some kids go on your property skateboarding, and one of them gets hurt. Flies off the porch, breaks an arm, or whatever, and you're sued for negligence. It doesn't matter the kid shouldn't be there. It doesn't matter the parents didn't know where the kids were. They're just going to sue you. And it happens all the time. What if you lose? You own a rental house. The tenant moves in. The dishwasher floods the kitchen area really bad. And 3 months later, the tenant complains of severe headaches and I don't have energy, and plays the victim, and you're sued for black mold contamination. Happens all the time. What if you lose? You see, even if you win, you've already lost because you've paid the legal costs. If you call any reputable firm to defend you, the first thing out of their mouth is, after hearing what your case could be, is you're going to pay a legal retainer. And they do not usually accept less than $5,000 or more, depending on the severity of the case. So even if you pay them $5,000 and that is all you pay to win, you lost $5,000, right? So the question is, right now, if you get sued for any reason under the sun, can an attorney take everything you have? Can that attorney seize your house, your savings, your investments, your other real estate, your rental properties, your cash? Can they take it? Because I'm telling you, they will. There's no mercy in court. There's no reasonableness in court. If they win, they will take it because that's how they get paid. Serious problem in this country. Now let's go on to a current risk, and that would actually be the stock market. A lot of people still have their money in the stock market. Now, as a 401k Freedom First client, you may not. Perhaps you've moved out of the stock market, but this is still something of concern. There's nothing wrong with investing in the stock market, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Nothing wrong with having a foot in both sandboxes, right? That's just good investing. However, here's a piece of advice. If you're ever going to keep one dime in the stock market, then I want you to exercise every fail-safe you can. The first one is you tell your broker, I want a stop loss on this account. So let's say you owned Apple stock, and it's a wonderful stock and one of the highest value stocks out there in the world, but it's also had some severe ups and downs. So a stop loss is if that stock market drops or that stock drops more than X percentage, you sell out. It's a way to always protect yourself from massive losses. So put in stop loss provisions or anything else to protect your principal, because the market is volatile and it hurts far more people than it ever helps. So let's look at that, because this is where a lot of people have their money right now. In 2015, CNN Money reported that 70% of investors lost money, nearly 70%. CBS 60 Minutes said that they said, what kind of retirement plan, talking about 401ks, allows millions of people to lose 30 to 50% of their life savings just as they near retirement? The worst time of all, isn't it? In fact, they went on to say that from 2000 to 2015, the market, adjusted for inflation, grew by only 0.56% per year. Let me ask you a question. If you went into your local bank with a chunk of money and said, I'd like to open up a savings or money market account, and the employee is more than happy to help you, and then they look at the eye and they say, yes, and we're paying a whopping 0.56%, what are you going to think? One, you're going to be insulted that they would pay you so little on your money. And the other, I would think, is how can you say that with a straight face, right? It's ridiculous. That's not even remotely close to even keeping pace with inflation, is it? So how in the stock market, if you're having two things, you're having a less than 1% growth per year plus losses, incredible losses, how will you ever retire? People in this country are lost. They're hopeless. Spread the word that they don't have to be, because a lot of your friends, family, and neighbors have no idea that they can put their money in safer places if they use the right kind of plan. So that was 2015. Obviously, just a burp in the market. It'll get better, right? What happened in 2016, January? A $1 trillion loss in the market. How many IRAs and 401ks did that decimate just when people needed their money to retire? So just another bump? No. Let's go deeper into 2016. Remember the Brexit vote? Sheesh. That's when Britain left the European Union. A 600-point drop in one day. Do you know where most of that drop occurred in stocks? It's where a lot of conservative people are invested in bank stocks and financial company stocks. Those are the safe ones that took the hit. Can you imagine that? 610-point drop in one day. That was a $3 trillion loss of wealth earthwide. A lot of people affected, wasn't it? So you got to understand, Wall Street's not here to make you rich. They may say we are. They may want you to think that you're going to get rich with Wall Street, but they do. You see, Wall Street wins regardless of what the market does. You pay when you buy or make investments. You pay when you hold those investments, and you pay when you lose on those investments and want to come out of it. How would you like to have a business that no matter what happened, up or down, you made money off of your business? Wouldn't that be a great business model? That's exactly what Wall Street has. I call it the world's largest casino, because that's what it is. So the question is, have you protected yourself from stock market losses? If you're going to have money in the market, make sure you have stop-loss provisions or anything else that you can have to keep your money from being eroded while you sleep. Next, have you invested in assets backed up by hard collateral, such as real estate? What about some precious metals? The cool thing with having your 401k is if you invest in gold, silver, and platinum, those metals are shipped to you for safekeeping. I call that your Armageddon money. You have it in your possession. You have it in a safe or wherever you're confident it's protected. It's there for you to access in the future. Are your investments spinning off cash flow? Yes, making profit is important, but spinning off cash flow is more important. Are you getting rental payments? Are you getting interest payments? Having an ongoing stream of money you can't outlive should be your goal. Do you have checkbook control so you can move quickly to nail down an opportunity before someone else does? Well, you're a Freedom First client. You have checkbook control, but let me ask you this. Have you pulled the trigger? Have you made your first investment, even a small one? Or have you found yourself uncomfortable, maybe a little bit afraid to get started, not knowing quite where to get started? You just need the help to get started in the right direction. If you're not making investments, if you're not having your money go to work for you, you are losing money. You can't afford that. You can create wealth by simply following a system. Do what others have done already to make wealth. So let me just propose something to you real simple. It's easy to do. In fact, I have a coach I work with. She's amazing at this, and she can help you find real estate notes that are paying at least 10% or better in a lot of cases. Sometimes 12%, sometimes 15%. All right? But what if you just invested in real estate notes that you did the due diligence on, that you were comfortable with, and that there is plenty of equity in the property to protect your position, and you just had all your money working in just that investment alone, you would double your money every 7.2 years. What if you add a little bit of investments here and there that you did? What if you wholesaled a house or did something else to make a little bit more money and you average 12%? You double your money in 6 years. It can be done if you don't make it complicated. If you follow a simple system and you just keep rinse and repeat. It doesn't matter if it's real estate notes. It doesn't matter if it's tax liens. You need to become good at it and consistently work that particular investment. All right, let's move on to the third threat level, the one that I listed as a red alert. And a red alert means you are under attack. So who do you think the red alert threat comes from? The IRS. I'm going to go back to that slide we had earlier where I said that taxes are the single largest living expense you have, at least 42% of your income going out in a variety of taxes. But the silver lining is that as a taxpayer, you have the legal right to reduce your tax bill to the minimum by following the law and documenting what you did. So again, if I was to ask you right now, are you absolutely certain you're not paying the IRS way too much money? What would your response be? Do you know for sure? And better yet, if you said yes, my next question was, well, explain to me how you are saving money. Now, a lot of people's eyes sort of glaze over because, you know, they think taxes are something they can never grasp or understand. Only if you have, you know, an EA or CPA or something behind your name do you have that knowledge. And that's simply not true. Taxes and how they work are very basic. Yes, you can get very complicated depending on investment scenarios and so forth, but the tools that can be used, anyone can understand. So let me sort of give you an example of what we're talking about, and let's just assume, again, that you're a real estate investor and you have taken the steps to form a limited liability company. That's where your real estate business is going to be run, inside a limited liability company. So my first question to you would be, how is your LLC being taxed? Because you see, an LLC is like a lump of clay. It can be taxed 4 different ways depending on your unique financial fingerprint, right? So is it a pass-through entity? Is it a partnership? Is it an S-election? Is it a corporation? What fits for you? Now, you may assume one of those is the right way, but after doing a full detailed analysis with a tax expert, they show you no, it's this way, and here is why it's better. So if you don't have an entity and you don't know why or how it's being taxed, if you don't know, that's where your money is going. Guarantee you. I see this all the time. Here's the next question. Are you married? Are you paying your spouse to provide valid services to your LLC? Even if they have a day job and it's just a little part-time help they could give you, are you documenting it and are you paying them some money for doing that? If you're not, here's where you're sending your money. Third question, do you know how to use your real estate 401k or Freedom First 401k to create massive wealth by following a simple plan, not making it too complicated or having to spend too much time, and never pay a dime in the taxes on the growth of that money ever? Never, ever have to pay taxes on it. We're hearing back from a lot of our Freedom First 401k clients. They're not being advised by their tax professional. They're not even bringing this subject up with people, and you can't afford that. Time is ticking. Your retirement horizon comes closer every single day, and you can't afford to waste one day. So if you have no idea how to do this, and this is some advanced training, then there's where your money is going. Do you see sort of a pattern? If you're ignorant of tax laws and options and what you can do legally to reduce your taxes, you're simply flushing your money down the IRS toilet. That's all you're doing. So why haven't you taken your steps? If you have not, why haven't you taken steps to protect yourself from greedy lawsuits, from the roller coaster investment losses of the stock market, from stopping the IRS from bleeding you dry? This is your responsibility as a business owner. This is what it means to be a business owner. It just doesn't mean go out there, buy something, and hope you make money selling it. You have to have your financial house in order to make sure that your hard work and the money that you spend and invest is protected, that you get back the lion's share in your pocket. That's being a good, responsible, serious business owner. And I know why a lot of you are stuck at a dead stop. I understand that. It's because true experts are really hard to find. I know this. A few years ago, our attorney and myself were teaching a class to enrolled agents, which are tax experts. It was in Prescott, Arizona. There was 120-some people in the audience. The tax attorney asked several key questions, and for a show of hands of how many people knew the answer. Out of 120-some people, 3 to 4 hands would go up. At the end of this, at the class, when we were talking afterwards, we just shook our heads and saying, you know what? The clients of those enrolled agents are paying way too much in taxes, and they don't even know it. It really was disturbing how little knowledge some tax professionals have. And that's just the way it is. I'm not putting them down, but most people are not getting the advice that they need. It's taken me years to assemble tax attorneys, pension attorneys, CPAs, IRS resolution attorneys, real estate attorneys, to have the professionals that I can rely on myself. So I understand that, because you need a business entity attorney, you need a small business tax strategist, you need an asset protection expert, you need a retirement plan consultant, you need an accounting professional. This is what it is involved in running your business and keeping the money in your pocket. But the problem is, how can you ever fit this puzzle of experts together? You got to go find them, then you got to get them all stitched together, then you got to get them all on the same page. I'm sorry, it's overwhelming to try and do this. It's almost impossible for most people. So because I have been inundated with questions and concerns and issues and sad stories of people over the last couple of years, I decided to do something about it. I like to help people. I like to see you move forward financially and be confident doing so and keep the money in your pocket where it belongs. So, basically I want you to relax, because I've gathered my trusted experts together for you. This group of experts that I brought together are people that I know and trust and rely upon myself to help me in my business. So all of these experts together represent a comprehensive program to move you forward in your business career, your business endeavors. We call the program the Lifestyle Shield. And it is there to shield you from a lot of these threats that we've already talked about during this webinar. But the thing that you need to keep in mind is that it is not a cookie-cutter program. Yes, some of the components that we use are common to all of our clients, but you have to remember that you have a very unique financial fingerprint. Your situation in life, what you're wanting to accomplish, your assets, your money, your goals, that's all unique to you, just like the fingerprint that you have yourself. No one else in the world has that, right? So what we do is that we look at how it needs to be structured and implemented for your unique situation. So let me sort of break down an overview, as it were, of the services provided in the Lifestyle Shield, and I think you'll be as excited about this as we are. First of all, let's define a little bit more of what it is. It's a personalized package of tax and legal planning services. Now, underline the word personalized. That's that customization that comes in for you and only your situation. And so it has certain goals. And so one of the goals, and the first goal, is to shrink your taxes to the absolute minimum. Again, no problem paying taxes, just don't make the IRS your favorite charity, right? The next thing we focus on is helping you to grow a tax-free nest egg, not just to invest in real estate and grow money tax-free, but to live tax-free during retirement. And the next one that we have to be aware of is stopping greedy attorneys in their tracks. And so this is basically what we call the type of planning that lets you sleep well at night, because it takes care of these various threats that you otherwise are exposed to, and allows you to focus on the important things, and that's running your business, making your investments. All right, so to sort of give you an idea of what impact this type of planning can have, let's talk about Steve and Carrie. You know, they had a good first year in real estate. They decided what they wanted to do in real estate. They actually bought a coaching course to prove it, or to not to prove it, to lay out the steps rather for them so that they could get busy in it. And again, they had a good first year. So after all their business expenses, they netted, or they have a gross pre-tax profit of $95,000. Not bad, right? But they didn't do some of their homework. So they worked really hard, but they did nothing to legally reduce their taxes. They just work as a sole proprietor. And a sole proprietor is just where you receive all of the profits and income in your personal name. That's it. You didn't do anything else or form any kind of business entity. So let's look at their numbers. There's their $95,000 after their expenses that they net, their gross pre-tax profit. There's $16,888 in federal taxes are due. They live in the state of California, so there's nearly $6,000 to California. Their Social Security, remember they're now self-employed, so they have to pay their self-employment taxes. Boy, say that fast 3 times in a row. They have to pay their self-employment taxes. So their Social Security, there's $1,378 for Medicare. So what are they actually netting afterwards for all their hard work of a year that they can actually call their own money? $64,915. That's okay, but that's not as exciting as $95,000, is it? So really, what did their lack of planning cost them? Look at that. A whopping $30,085 simply went up in smoke because Steve and Carrie did not take the time and make the investment to get themselves set up properly. Being a business owner is not just deciding what you're going to do or invest in real estate and how you're going to sell it or make money with it. A good business owner builds a solid foundation for their business in dealing with taxes, dealing with liability and these other issues, so they know they can work hard and keep the lion's share of the money for themselves and keep their business and themselves safe. That's good business planning. That's what a business owner is. All right, so let's take this to the next level because, and this is the thing I want you to keep in mind. See where it's underlined? It says expert tax planning pays for itself. A lot of people don't use the services of a tax planner because they don't want to pay for it. But they're viewing it as an expense, not an investment, not a tool. Because good tax planning always pays for itself. If I pay $10,000 to an expert tax attorney, and that attorney comes back and saves me a total of $20,000, was that a good decision as a business owner? Well, of course it was. I received a benefit larger than I paid for, right? So that's if I make an investment, what's the return on my investment? So in this case, I spent $10,000, but I got a $20,000 tax savings. But here's the thing. What does the rest of that headline says? It says shrink your income tax bill year after year after year. So I may have paid $10,000 to that tax attorney to save $20,000 in taxes, so I'm net 10 to the gain, right? But what happens next year? I repeat it, don't I? Because I've already paid for the tax advice. So next year I save 20. The year after that I save 20. The year after that I save 20. That's a good investment. And that's how you should look at setting yourself up for expert tax planning, all of these things and decisions that you have to make. Is the investment or the return on the investment greater than the investment itself? Well, then it's a good business decision. So if Steve and Carrie had operated the real estate business as a corporation, not in their personal name, they could have reduced their taxes by at least $7,267.50. Now, if they just did that every year for 5 years, that's $36,337.50. There's that year after year after year savings. Do you think it would have been a good idea for Steve and Carrie to have invested in some expert tax help to save that kind of money? Of course it is. That's just normal business planning, right? Now, did you know that there are hundreds of tax laws that save corporations money? They're designed for corporations, businesses. So again, do you think if Steve and Carrie would have done the proper planning and worked with an expert and explored all their options and all these laws, had it researched for them, they probably could have saved more than $7,267.50? Because remember, that's just the initial first stage of savings because they have a corporation. Well, of course they could have. And again, that's that good tax planning that you do to make sure that you use the legal laws for your benefit. Because you see, the government rewards two groups of people. They don't reward you if you have a day job and you're an employee. That's very limited. That's not a reward for doing that. But if you're a small business owner and an investor, they reward you. Well, I know that a lot of you are focused on real estate, so there you have a small business and you're an investor. So you should be doubly rewarded in the tax law. And you are if you work with an expert that can find those laws, show you what they are, put them into place, and harvest those savings for you. So let's go a little bit further. Let's go into the Lifestyle Shield again and see what all it includes. And I think you'll see how we've really addressed in this comprehensive package these various financial threats that you have to deal with on an almost daily basis. All right, so the first thing that comes in the Lifestyle Shield is your Shrink Your Taxes Blueprint. Now, we call this the Personalized Tax Action Plan. We call it TAP for short. So the Tax Action Plan, what is it? It's a comprehensive tax attorney analysis of at least 2 years of tax returns. He may ask for 3, but at least 2 full years of tax returns. So it's an in-depth research of all of the available deductions and special programs so that the tax attorney identifies which tax tools apply to your unique situation, both now and down the road. Not just today, but what about 2, 3, 4 years down the road? Now, your tax action plan will make it easy for you to understand which tax strategies are being used, what the benefits are, and how much money you're saving. And he's just not going to, give it to you. He's going to walk you through it. He's going to explain it to you so that you understand it. The Lifestyle Shield is planning that you're meant to understand what the benefits are, what the savings are, how it protects you, because now it becomes your plan. We help put it in place, but when you understand it and you're confident, it really is your customized plan. All right, so that's the first thing that we do. That starts this whole process. All right, so then after we go ahead and put the personalized tax action plan together, we go to the next step. And what is that? Well, that's the tax reduction implementation. That is the tax filing service. And your tax action plan is the blueprint that the Lifestyle Shield CPA will consult while filing your taxes. So the tax attorney builds the blueprint. The CPA now puts the blueprint into action. So now we have an organized, cohesive plan that we're implementing on your benefit. Now, if the tax attorney determines in his analysis that somewhere you've overpaid your taxes to the IRS, and if the situation qualifies, the CPA will initiate what we call a clawback. A clawback is where they file with the IRS and say, no, based on this information, you overpaid, send the money back to their client. Now, does that mean you're going to get money back? No. Some people don't see a penny because they didn't really overpay that much. Other people, it might be a few $100s. Other people, it could be many thousands of dollars. Our tax attorney has got back some whopping amounts of money for some of his clients over the years because they didn't use all the tools that they should have. Okay? Now, your Lifestyle Shield's initial fee, the setup fee, covers the first year filing for you of one personal tax return and one business tax return. Here's the other thing. A lot of you have complained to me, one, you don't have a good tax advisor. You know you're probably overpaying. But you're also asking them questions about how much money can I put it in my 401k? When can I put it in the 401k? All these questions, and they're just giving you blank stares. They have no idea because they're not taught this in their continuing education. They're not taught about these one participant 401ks. In this case, you're dealing with the tax and pension attorney that drafted your plan. You're dealing with a CPA who's knowledgeable with these plans. You're going to get accurate answers, and you're going to know exactly how much, when, and why that you're going to put in this plan. And that allows you to use your plan even better than you're perhaps doing it now. Okay, so now we've talked about the full research on the tax action plan. Now we talked about the implementation by our CPA. Now we also have to come up with the other parts and pieces, the tools of this. So the next thing is what we call choosing the perfect entity. It's your corporation creation. Now, the correct business entity is like the foundation of a house. If you don't have a good solid foundation of a house, everything you build on top is going to sag, creak, crack, or crumble, right? The foundation holds up everything. So in this case, the correct business foundation, it creates the initial tax savings you're going to enjoy, like Stephen and Carrie did, and it's also going to dovetail or fit right in with the first step of your liability protection. So it's a major component of how the attorney is going to keep you safe from lawsuits, as will be discussed here in just a moment. So you'll have a consultation with an attorney who will help you decide which business entity or corporation is best for your circumstances. Now, if you have an existing business entity, an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, a partnership, or something like that, the attorney and you will decide if it can be legally modified and kept in place. If it can be, then you're not going to have to necessarily create a whole new entity and start new that way. But most of you don't have an entity in place when I talk to you, so this would be the formation of a new entity, the perfect one for your business. Then the new business entity is filed with your respective state. Okay? So that's the corporation creation, again, a major component of this lifestyle shield. Now we come to the next part of it, and that's the part of how do you keep your stuff safe if for some reason you get sued. We call this the asset vault strategy, and this is not complex, not meant to be complicated. You can protect your stuff without being complicated. I was at a big guru meeting. They had a whole bunch. I mean, there must have been 600 people in the audience. And so a law firm came in and talked about asset protection. They offered this strategy. I've been in this business for years, and I couldn't hardly make heads or tails out of it, but they lined the people up at $12,000 a plan, literally lined them up to buy that because the people wanted protection and felt that maybe this was the tool. And I thought, well, how complicated can you get? It doesn't have to be that complicated. So our attorney is an expert in this arena, and he will make sure that what he puts in place is simple but effective. So we have to ask everybody, does an attorney see you as an easy, juicy target? And they say, well, how does an attorney know I'm a target? Within a few minutes of searching, an attorney can view your entire life's history and the assets you own. Did you know that? There are legal databases like LexisNexis and others that have your entire history in there. I was shocked when our attorney took me down and he said, let's see what happened with Dave Cole. Type me in. I saw everything on me from 18 years of age. 18 years of age forward. There is no privacy, folks. It's all out there. So if that attorney sees enough money, investments, real estate, or other assets, so they know they'll get paid if they win. So guess what? The next thing you know, you're staring a process server in the face. That is not fun. That's not what you want to have happen in your life. Our asset vault strategy does not keep you from getting sued. Anybody can sue you for anything in this country. It's a legal system gone insane, I'm telling you. However, our asset vault strategy keeps the hostile attorney from taking everything you have. You become very unattractive to the attorney. In other words, you want to be butt ugly to that attorney so that they don't want to sue you. That's what a proper asset strategy would do for you. Pardon my French. All right, so let's go on into the next component of this, and that is your checkbook access 401k. Yeah, I know. You already have it. You're my client. You are seeing this information before it's rolled out to anyone else in the nation. Only my clients get to hear about the Lifestyle Shield first of all, period. And you're going to get an amazing offer here in just a little bit, and I'm going to make this so that everyone can take advantage of this if you choose. So, but it is a part of the package, all right? So your personal 401k plan, as you know, puts you back in control of your nest egg. And it gives you 100% checkbook control of every penny. It covers your spouse. So if you're married, no doubt your spouse is a co-trustee. You eliminate a lifetime of custodian fees. And as you know, residential, commercial, multifamily, virtually everything in real estate is available to you, plus gold, silver, platinum. We call it your Armageddon money. Would you like to have a little gold, silver, or platinum? Well, it's shipped to you if you invest in it. You put it away where it's safe. It's always there in an emergency. And you can use your 401k to fund your business, your coaching that you pay for, computers and travel, only in a certain way. You can't just cut a check on the 401k for this stuff, but it is possible to do this. And if that interests you, you need to talk to me about how to do that legally. All right? So it does include that. But the other thing it includes is activation of the Roth 401k. And frankly, if I called 100 of you folks or 500 of you folks, I would bet that probably 95% of you have not activated your Roth 401k. Yet, the Roth 401k is the best retirement plan ever created by Congress. It's the best ever. It's a legal way to remove your future income from the U.S. tax system. Now, we're not talking just tax-free investing. We're talking tax-free forever income. When you are retired and you are too old, too frail, and too sick to do anything to make yourself some extra money, you need every single penny to take care of yourself, right? Because you don't know how long you're going to live or what expenses you're going to have. I mean, if that's a bad position to be in, if in fact you're trying to live on tax leftovers. A tax-deferred account, when you pull money out, remember, that's income. You pay tax on the income, you get the leftovers. The Roth is the opposite. You keep every single penny for life. So, I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could keep every penny in your retirement plan for life? If you looked at your retirement plan and said, well, I have X dollars and I get to keep every one of those dollars, doesn't that change your retirement plan outlook? I think so. All right. So anyway, again, you're going to see how we're going to address this in a moment because I said I was going to make you an amazing offer, and we realize you already have a plan. All right. So the Lifestyle Shield is designed for you by true experts. There's 6 of us on the team. I'm the coach leading the team, coordinating and educating, etc. We have a tax attorney, we have an IRS attorney, we have a legal filing expert, we have a CPA, we have everybody we need on the team that you need access to through one portal. One source can make all of this happen for you instead of trying to stitch together all those people, right? So in review, it's a personalized tax action plan. It's professional tax filing by our CPA. It's the asset vault strategy to keep your stuff safe from a predatory lawsuit. It's a corporation creation or modification. And it, of course, includes a solo 401k and a Roth 401k, the tax-free forever plan. So that's a review, basically what it has. However, I decided to add a special bonus because I keep hearing the same comments from people when I do a coaching call. And that is that we need more help. We need more in-depth education. We need a better track to run on, okay? So we have a special bonus, and this is worth $1,000. And the special bonus is the Lifestyle Mastermind Group. These are only the people who are using the Lifestyle package services. You're invited to a special private group. I'm the lead coach on the group, but we're going to take you way beyond the next level in understanding your plan, your business, your taxes. This is the information it takes to become wealthy. And so we're going to break this down for you, and we're going to teach you or share with you who's lending in your state. We got research, and we're searching everywhere for where are their sources of money, who are experts in finding sources of money, where can you tap into these. So these are like commercial lenders. We're going to talk and teach you how you can invest in tax liens, how to create a real estate note and do it right, how to lend money and be secured by real estate, and many more types of really eye-opening programs that you know nothing about right now. We're going to show you how to create non-recourse lines of credit to fund your deals, how we're going to take your business entity and have it where you could create non-recourse lines of credit for it that you're not even liable for. Now, that doesn't mean you use it and not pay it. It's a tool to use to fund your deals and do things for you. And we work with experts that are very good. They raise millions and millions and millions of dollars helping people do this. And it just expands your ability to tap into capital to do your investing or other business deals. We're going to show you how to attract private money lenders like a magnet. There's trillions of dollars out there nobody knows what to do with that money. It's sitting in a bank. It's not getting interest. There's trillions to tap into. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to show you how to supercharge the growth of your Roth 401k. In fact, we're going to show you and teach you how to legally put more in your Roth 401k from a contribution standpoint than the law initially says, and it's legal. And we're going to have the attorney teach you how to do that. We're going to show you free or low-cost online tools and software that you need access to help you do more in less time, to help you be more effective in your business so that you can generate more profits. So there's a lot more than that we're going to do in the Lifestyle Mastermind group. This group is going to go on for a year. And again, we're going to have monthly or bi-monthly meetings that you can attend. We will archive and record information. But at the end of a year, you're going to have a master's education in what you need to know to run your small business, because it's all about leveraging your time to make the most amount of money possible in the least amount of time. Sound cool? You're going to love it. Oh, by the way, you get to network with other members. We're going to open it up because you're members of a closed group. You're going to be able to talk to other members, network, email them. They may have a deal to talk to you about. You may have a deal. They may want to fund your deal. You're all mature and honest and good quality folk. And so we're comfortable letting you network among yourselves. And that itself is priceless, being able to do that. All right. So now we'll go on. And I decided to go in and throw another fast action bonus in. For those of you that say, Dave, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I know I haven't found my experts. I don't want to take the time and effort to figure out how to put them all together and make them work together. I just need one place to go. So I decided to give a fast action bonus, and that is that if you're not on LinkedIn, I'm going to help you get on LinkedIn, and I'm going to help you with your profile. You're going to have free access to an online course, which I don't know if you know or not, but I have a book out on LinkedIn. I'm considered an expert coach on LinkedIn. I've been a public speaker on it, and I've talked to lots and lots of people publicly about LinkedIn as a keynote speaker. So you're going to have access to my coaching program, the videos, the worksheets, and everything. Plus, I'll do a personal review of your profile, give you some tips. I'll call you on the phone, and I'll teach you how to go out on LinkedIn and literally build a community of people that would have interest in either referring people to you to buy houses or properties, or buying houses or properties, or loaning yourself money. And LinkedIn is where the money is in this country as far as a social media platform. It's not on Twitter, a little bit on Facebook, but the real money's on LinkedIn. So that's a $300 value, and I'll do that when you're become a mastermind member, okay? All right, so let's keep on going here. By now, you should be saying, okay, this is a lot to wrap my head around, Dave, but it does sound good. I love that photo. I had to use that photo of that little girl. I mean, she is a tough one to convince, don't you think? All right. Sounds good, Dave, but how much is it? Comes down where the rubber meets the road. How much are you going to charge me for this thing? Can I afford it, right? Yes, you can. And I'm going to show you how you can. Now, again, I've been in this industry for, I've been in business 30 years, been in this industry for at least 20. And I know what people charge, and I've confirmed a lot of pricing also as we built this thing. So if you do go out there a la carte pricing, I'm going to tell you what pricing you should find from a real expert that knows what they're talking about. If they do a tax action plan, and that will be a tax attorney that does that, you typically $2,000 or more. All the time, that's what we would hear. A good CPA will run you about $1,500. A good asset protection plan, boy, the attorneys really stick it to you on that. I see $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 prices all the time. And corporation creation and a good legal operating agreement and everything done really the way it should be, about $1,500 on average or more from an attorney. So if you went out a la carte to try to find the experts, stitch them all together, make them all work, make it happen, you can spend $10,000. I've seen 20, 25. I've seen amounts over that just made my jaw drop what people would pay. So it can be a substantial investment. But in putting this team together, we all decided, again, we want to help people. We have to be paid for our time, yes. And you are dealing at a very expert level with this group of team members. But we don't want to price it out. We want to help people. So we came up with some pricing that I think really makes sense, and I feel very good about it. So the price for our entire package is $69.97. Now, hold on for a moment, because I told you, as a Freedom First client, you're going to get an amazing deal. So when I talked to the team members, I said, yes, that's worth every penny of it. All day long, $69.97 for this level of expert advice and guidance. However, I said I want to roll it out to my Freedom First clients first, and they already have a 401k. What will everybody agree to? What can we do that's an incentive? Well, how can we say thank you for being a client and make this better for you? So, as a Freedom First client, $2,000 right off the top. You've already got a 401k. There's going to be some extra in there for being a client. So a $2,000 savings. So you're getting this level of expert quality and guidance and help for $49.97. But I'm going to make it better than that. I want to show you how you can get it zero out-of-pocket cost to you. So you don't have to come into this month's budget to pay for it, okay? So this is what we call, this zero out-of-pocket is what we call our Sleep Well at Night special offer. And this is for you as my client, and this is at your $2,000 off savings. So the zero out-of-pocket is very simple. You're going to give yourself a 401k loan for $49.97. That's it. You're going to dip in your 401k, not your regular cash, your 401k, extend yourself a loan for $49.97 so that you can pay for this package of services. Now, the payment you will be making back to your 401k at the minimum is $96 a month. You could pay it off at any time, but it's $96 a month for up to 5 years. I would suggest pay it off early, but that's up to you. Just a side thought, if $96 a month puts you out of consideration for this, then there's some other financial issues or your situation you would need to address first. And I would encourage you to look at that and then maybe later on come back to this. Because $96 a month for this entire package, which already includes your tax filing and everything, is about the most economical way that you can step up to this advanced type of business planning. And I did ask the attorney, and he said, I could say most likely tax deductible to your business. Now, I know he'll probably do that for everybody as a tax-deductible business expense, but I can't guarantee it. So being an attorney, he said, you'll say most likely. All right? So I am so excited about this. I'm literally giddy because people have asked me for this for so long, and it's taken me a great deal of time to get everybody on the same page, all the experts, have them say, yes, we'll support. We want to be a part of this. I mean, honestly, for a while, it was like herding cats. But they do want to help, and they are excited about it too. So here's what has been decided. The Founders Group is initially limited to the first 25 people. We have to onboard each client. We have to do a detailed analysis for each client. Then we have to do a full implementation for each client, right? Then we have to do a training of each client. So in that process, the team members, the experts are saying, listen, we need to figure out how much time this is going to take per person so that we can then in turn all agree this is how many people we can expect, or we can comfortably take care of each month as we onboard new clients. So when this fills up, it's shutting down because we have to go through this process, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I assume 3 months, maybe 4 months before everybody says, yes, we're ready, we've got it all figured out, we got a system now, and they'll allow me then to bring more people aboard. So don't delay. When this fills up, and trust me, I have a lot of clients, so there's a lot of people that are watching this video. It's not going to take very long at all for 25 folks to step up the plate and say, I've been looking for this forever, let's do it. So don't delay, because if we're out another 3 or 4 months, well, that could be 3 or 4 months of lost tax money that you shouldn't have to go through. So first come, first serve, and I'll show you how to get this whole ball started here in just a moment. So limited to the first 25 people, and as soon as that hit that limit, we shut the door. So again, I just want you to keep in mind, if this intrigues you and you're really genuinely interested, there is no magic button. There is no one-size-fits-all. There's no place you can go online, type in a lot of information on the internet, and voila, there it is. This is expert, personalized planning just for you. And it really, really is an important business decision because you know what? You get to determine what kind of future you're going to have. It's your legal right to reduce your taxes to the minimum as long as we follow the law doing it. It's your legal right to protect yourself from predatory lawsuits. It's your legal right and your obligation to build your nest egg for the future. You just need the help and guidance to do it. That's all. So what kind of future do you want to have? All right, so just in conclusion, the Lifestyle Shield again, there's a $2,000 savings off the cost because you already have a 401k and you are a Freedom First client, and we truly appreciate that. And zero out of pocket by doing the 401k loan, just $96 a month for you. I think you'll agree that's about as easy as it could be to make a decision, right? So here's what you need to do. And that's very simple. I want you to enter your name and email on the form on this webpage. That way I'll get a copy of that. Then I'm going to email you a fact finder, some basic information that you need to sit down and fill out. It's not going to take long, but it's the information I need to get started. And then I'm going to set an appointment with you. We're going to hop on the phone. I'm going to use your fact finder that you've got back to me. That's going to be the outline of our conversation because I have to produce a complete report to go back to the attorney and the CPA and everybody so that as they onboard you, they know what's going on and what they need to do for you. Okay? So that's really how simple it is. So the sooner you fill out that web form and hit submit, I'm going to take these in the order I receive them. As soon as we have 25 folks that have said this is exactly what I want, we're going to shut the door and you'll just simply have to wait. So I hope that you found this very eye-opening and interesting, and that I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm really excited to take you to the next level and show you some of these tools that are going to really help you be confident as a business owner and create wealth for the future for you and your loved ones. So again, go down there, fill in that web form on the page, and hit submit. Talk to you soon.